Divinity, удиви меня, бля. Divinity меня, бля. А где второй? Какого хрена ты тут-то? Твою мать. А ну объединились. Я почти победил. Требуется увеличительное стекло. Его нет. О, мы же вас победили.
Hail, Source Hunter! Why, I don't think I could ask for a more welcome sight on these cursed beaches. The Legion welcomes you. I'm not so different from any other soldier you'll meet around these parts. We've all lost more comrades here in Sicile than most do in an entire military
Да чтобы
career.
пусто было, блин.
Bloody orcs are at it again! Beats me what on earth they want in Sicile. Their second attack within as many weeks. And that rat-faced shaman of theirs even went to the trouble of launching a fireball at a ship in the harbour to the west of here. It's hard to say. That ship needs attention, and fast, or she's good as sunk. Got any special Source Hunter tricks to make a blue sky turn to a rain cloud? Beats me what traitorous madness came over that dog. A man among orcs? You're like one of your kind running with a sorcerer. Whatever the cur's incentive to raise swords alongside that murderous lot, let's all hope it was a private grudge. Can you imagine if we had to add a slew of wild-eyed, orc-loving bedlamites to our list of enemies in Sicile?
Твою мать.
What in the seven's name happened here? What in the seven's name happened here?
Поехали. Так, увидите странную кучу земли. Попробуйте ее раскопать. Как она выглядит? Странная.
Taken before his time. Taken before his time. Far before his time.
Так, здесь главное ничего не брать. М.
Size seal, shiver me timbers and sliver me. That's enough of that now.
Мгм. О, нужен молоток. Нет, молоток оставим.
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Да мне, блин, все жалко.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rot.
На молоток. Да как ты смеешь? Хрен с тобой. Колку давай. Чего, как ты смеешь? Ты охренел, что ли? Я тебе молоток, ты мне иголку какую-то сраную. Да, на тебе подарок. Идете.
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
You there! Cut it out!
Нахера вообще отдал ему молоток? Будь здоров. Корзина. Морковка. Окей. Что у меня за кимоно? Что-то не помню, что у меня оно было. У меня тут... Рецепт. А можно сразу почитать? Нет. Я думал, рецепты.
I can't even smell the sea air over rot.
Halt! These gates are to remain closed at all times. Captain's orders. Well, I'll be a little red imp's uncle, the Source Hunter. Sorry for the gruff treatment. I didn't recognize you right away. Please tell me, how can I aid the investigation? You can see security's tighter than ever around here since that surprise attack the Orcs put on a fortnight ago. They did enough damage to shake up Ahu and Captain Aureus something fierce. We can only hope to hold back the undead and these left-field orc attacks long enough for reinforcements to...
Повернусь. В дневнике появились сведения. Чтобы их посмотреть, нажмите L. Путешествие. Карта.
Steady, boys.
That is enough of that now.
Да идите вы, блин. Одни подарки только требуют.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Courteous, proud protector of this house of Legion goods. This is a storing house for Legion supplies, perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Courteous, have been trusted to guard it. Courteous is my name, the Legion is my calling.
Спасибо. Здесь воровать нельзя.
Well, a source hunter. About time the council took us seriously. Maybe you can start with the two idiots hiding their pet orc here.
Well, a source hunter. A very hearty welcome to our humble warehouse. Have a look around, and don't mind if I pick your brain about the scoop around Undervale. I tell you, this gig sure beats getting my toes bitten off by zombies out in the field. We warehouse guards don't have to do much apart from, and of course, every now and again, some friendly folks, like yourself, will wander through here. And nothing beats a pleasant conversation. Have you talked to him? Thinks every man, woman, and child who steps foot in this place wants to rob it blind. If I so much as greet a townsperson with a hello instead of a state your purpose, he starts frothing on and on about godly This Jake business is quite the scandal, no? I myself suspect his wife, Esmeralda, and then again, and you didn't hear this from me, he's going through quite the nasty divorce himself. And there's his children to but I imagine his youngest, Kimberly, won't mind. Never did get on well with her mother ever since it's an unparalleled pleasure having a fresh ear around here.
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orc...
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely...
Maybe before the great orc raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions. But now we're needed at our posts. I can...
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed a woman's touch in quite some time now. It makes him a bit edgy.
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw shanked brutally through the throat. I'll take my chance.
My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, as long as eternity, he locked. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately, a vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never
I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll... You see? He'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to shave him from his murder.
Let her live. If that potion were truly worthless, it wouldn't have been able to charm her in the first place. In this docile state, she may prove to be a source of valuable information.
You're right. The information she provides could well turn the tides here in Sicile.
Bravo! I trust not only the potion, but my scaly sweetheart in...
You're going to regret this. We're all going to
Well, a source hunter. About time the council took us. This place reeks of orc stench.
I can't even smell the sea air.
Source Hunter's here too. Well, if the Legion couldn't save this place, what are you going to do?
Better to evacuate this place while there is still some left to save, I say.
Sun is out, yet I feel cold inside my soul.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of...
Borrow, indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now! I'll be good for it, I swear! Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicile began. Still, that does... I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, I'll choose steal. So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Heavenly herring! Delicious dogfish! Yours for a scrap of gold each.
Зашибись, блин.
Everyone needs a hand now and then. Take the fish, and none but us will be the wiser.
Delicious dogfish. Yours for a scrap of gold each.
Sure, everyone needs a hand, but who are we to offer the merchant's hand without his consent? He should leave the fish be.
Catch is only hours from the sea. Aim straight. Aim true. Arrows by the dozens. Let's see.
Ethics are fine in theory, but nothing would stop me from helping you through a hard time. This man merely holds that same principle.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
That fish simply isn't ours to give. We can't offer it up as though we had the right to do so.
Хе-хе. Зараза.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
No, we'll do as I say.
That's the spirit! Or should I say, the soul?
Не помри с голоду, чувак.
Hey, that's my fish.
Sir, did you just steal that fish?
Блин.
No, I paid for it. The merchant just left, but I paid.
You were a witness to this event now? Tell me what happened.
Твою мать. Я уже во лжи погряз.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
This man is telling the truth. He paid for that fish fair and square.
Quite so. I saw him pay the merchant.
I can't thank you enough for your, discretion.
Well, sorry to have bothered you then, sir.
Обманул. Просто взял, всех обманул.
That thief is free for now, but I wonder how long it'll be until his growling belly seduces him back onto the crooked path. I can understand your sympathy for that man, but feeding him for one day will hardly remedy his circumstances. You would have done better to help him more substantially.
А вдруг он мне потом спасет?
Dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
Нет.
Hey,
Дай.
stop that.
Ну ё-моё, я же не хотел.
Tomatoes.
What? Does the ground turn to glue when you've been naughty around here?
Да блин, ну как я попал на эту, блин?
That doesn't belong to us, you know.
We're source hunters. We should be able to access any of the resources we need or want while we're on the job.
Other people's possessions.
That's enough of that now.
Твою мать.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
На тебе древко штилой.
In the mood for cheese? That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman-bear.
Hey, stop that.
Так, что у тебя есть? У тебя есть бабула. Есть рыба.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Ракушки, где ракушки? Куда, назад. Познать предмет.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
On the mood for cheese? An excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman-bear.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Так.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each. Hey, stop that!
Farm potatoes.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Иди ты в баню.
On the mood for
Здесь
cheese?
торговать-то.
An excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman-bear.
Never thought I'd see Seal in such dire straits. This.
Where are the good stuff? Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Ай, не туда я начал все ложить.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Fresh haddock, perfect for a fry-up.
Ведро.
Good.
Помятая кастрюля. Ух, зрение.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Lonesome, spiritless. Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine. Get it while it's fresh.
Тряпки.
Hours from the sea.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies, size seal.
These damn birds won't fetch more than a pittance. Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. Now that the herd's gone, old Birchie's just scratching by like a hen till the next batch. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced. Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Was planning to cook her into a fine midwinter night haggis myself. Do tell me if you hear anything about her. I plan on pursuing whoever stole her with my cleaver in hand.
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
Класс.
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great
Плохо. Объединяйте предметы. Выберите 2 ингредиента. И у нас пустые бутылки. Возможно. Бутылка воды. Понятно. Бутылок нет. Я продаю тебя. Твою мать. Так, это что у нас? Лопата нужна. Да вот куда ты ее выкинул?
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to maintain this gravesite. Are you sure you want to
Страшная игра.
We and our shovels will do as we please.
That's right.
As you prepare to break ground, you gaze at the dirt beneath your feet once more.
All right, time to get digging.
Here's hoping we find...
You plunge your shovel into the earth.
Пам, зомбак. Да ну! Ну нет! Ай. Ну как так? А какого хрена мне так далеко? Да вы шутите. Охренеть. Пец. Предупреждал уже меня эта могила гребаная.
I'm not so bloody orcs. That rat, they may need help. Beats me. Whatever the curse.
Так, здесь вроде ничего.
You there? Cut it out.
Even as soon as we're packed up.
Sigurd's beard, what a find!
Я думал опять, блядь.
What's this? I found something.
Пошли со своей могилы. Учебница.
Those men hardly sound long for this word. What's taking for so long? But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2?
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by near... No matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the order sent the individual with the next... Me? Why, I'm more than a little surprised you haven't heard of me. It was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of Cicuta Douglas. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for it. Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method, she refuses to... She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing, but she won't let me take the briefest look. She claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot there... Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silverglen to learn the truth myself.
Very existence?
Certainly, what would you like to know? The counsellor, terrible loss that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil servant. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be neither controlled nor understood by mere men. Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to... I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes.
Healing stone. Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
Of life. Come, make your case.
So, excuse me, this is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are, barging in? I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing. But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation. But perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you... What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead.
A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away. Quite the venerable staple of High Seal, Stephen, and recently blessed with his third grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less. Nearly everyone in Seal is familiar with grinning Stephen, and as you can— Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my— But it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its— You are? Ah, I thank you a million times for your help. Who have you decided?
Да идите вы, блин, с этой игрой, реально, блин. Не, ну так нечестно. Борис или Стивен? Борис или Стивен? Ты зараза-то игра, а?
Boris's life has just begun. We can't cut it short now. He should receive the stone.
Ты зараза, блин. Ну реально. Он найдет себе другого.
Yes, Boris deserves to Boris it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm
Pragmatism.
glad we'll get to save one man. My heart breaks for the other.
Thank
No,
the seven.
no, this is highly abnormal. What is this? This lightning.
I don't know what I did to deserve it.
Чё опять не так-то, ё-моё? Мне опять доказали, что... Нет.
What happened?
Это сон.
Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible, terrible! It will consume us all.
Ты кто? Я у тебя бинокль.
Lasts a billion words. What's this? Two Rivalonians here at the end of space and time? How very... Oh, yes. Proper introductions. Zigzax the historian at your service.
Zigzax.
It is my job to record all that was and is and hopefully all that is. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves. How you got here, though? That's on such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time. I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow. Ah, at last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens and feed...
Might be quite mad.
Then we...
you saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's...
Куда ты?
The portal has become active. Fantastic, astounding. Onward we should go.
Подушка. Бутылка. Вот пустая бутылка. Колодцевая.
The portal! It's quite sprung to life, just like the long dormant flames that decorate this observatory. You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. Those torches, light! This portal active once more. It cannot be coincidence. Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past. And it's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time. Though I cannot say for certain, if it is what I believe, then our prayers might well... In fact, every last question that ever plagued your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out. After you. Oh, what wonders we... You first, but don't dilly-dally. Yes, just as I'd hoped. There she is. There it is. Come.
And he's off.
It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
I am the last chest. The last chest. If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it. Find my fault.
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time? Mother of...
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I...
Astounding! Unbelievable. I have so many questions.
You have brought guests, I see. Strange.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane? If any other being in Rivellon asked me about the details of their comings and goings, I could describe, but you are different. Of you, so please, do tell me, how did you arrive here? A stone. So, it was a stone that caused
Камень
the
бесконечности.
shock of energy that brought you here,
Тессеракт.
and it infused you with new life as well. Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, but yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Stars.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven...
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how I cannot... Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented...
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry.
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes. Though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the... If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all.
Точно камни бесконечности искать придется.
Indeed you must, though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers within
Why, of
Чтобы Танос сюда пихнули.
That's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach. They'd prevent...
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the...
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First we mend the tapestry, then we stop these, our most mysterious guest. Are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt out the stones?
А мне сундук откроют?
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to... In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I recall the drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift... Except, it seems, you ask and I shall answer. If I can... I am the weaver of time, as I have told you. I am but what I am, and that is... Perhaps we are one and the same. Task multiplied by 2. Who has made us? I do not... Am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I... Alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. You and Starstone remain the... A hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. For the link between you and the stones reveals that your destinies are intertwined. I believe that starstones will not lead you to new places of wonder only. No. They will also lead to new knowledge through the restoration of the threads of old. Oh, Hunter, I have no need for company, like I have no need for air or appetite or affection. And yet, I do enjoy your companionship, for you may prove to become the cure that will heal my slipping soul. Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter where I look, you cannot be found. I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness.
Слепое пятно во
Perchance
времени.
the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed.
I've got something for you if you're up to the challenge.
What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could be, that is what the Starstone... I reside in another realm altogether. But ever since the end of time appeared in these deep dark skies, I materialized here, as if forced to watch the one thing that is unwatchable, unendurable. A thankless task that you may yet free me from forever. I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time.
Создатели времени.
You have set in motion an event I no longer know that no longer I did weave. I sat here at the end of time and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time like a terrified god that fears the offspring. But suddenly there was you. You who stirred the life within the stones. These stones, new threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid into the
Теперь я понимаю, почему на эту игру уходит 50 до 100 часов.
It seems that you are creating time.
Блять.
These starstones, please seek them so that time may yet be mended. Please, for the sake of all that lives.
The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear... No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no time. We'll find out just who you are, but you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see you? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back. Off you go then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how on earth you're related to the end of time.
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void. I honestly don't know. But ask her. If she claims it is so...
Like the imp said to the ballista operator before you go, so I hope he'll be able... I wonder, do you know more about the void? What it is? What lies at the heart of it?
What lies at its heart? Why, nothing, of course. The great abs...
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzags, let us turn to the business at hand. Starstone. And I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the source of... It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of dying, that means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, I snuck into the advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes that's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks, don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket so snug it becomes, but perhaps I speak only for myself, not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity call any patch of ground they... Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a precious circumstance, save it all too seldomly. Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument stripped of the potential. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there among them. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I lays beside the hearths of... I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthful Gore. He wondered aloud, what on earth? So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. Oh, before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that Zigzags asked me to... You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Use this one here and it'll take you straight to its twin. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too. So, if you spot a white cat during your travels, do stop to...
Белый кот, вы получили терапевтионные пирамиды. Ну...
I can't even smell the sea air over this rock.
Seal isn't so bad on a quiet day like this, is it?
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrow.
Borrow, indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear.
Поверить.
Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicil began. Still, that doesn't waive a man's need to eat, you know. I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice have I got now? So what do you think?
That merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours.
Yes, you know what they say about giving a man a fish.
I suppose you've got a point. Another day, another rumbling bell. A hungry man, you know.
That thief is free for now, but I wonder how long it'll be until he's growling. Thank you for making that would-be thief see reason. I only hope your instruction lasts. The last thing the plagued people of Sicil need is a thief among...
Don't scuttle away before you've tried some of the ocean's finest bounty. How many crab claws would you like? 3? 11? I listened in while you were talking to that would-be thief. Thank you for preserving my stock. It's no wonder you source hunters... Don't scuttle away before...
I wouldn't venture too far.
Sheep's cheese? Tomatoes?
On the mood for cheese? That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine.
I feel. Now, that's...
Undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Смиральда.
You there! A moment of your indulgence, if you please. You are the source hunter, are you not? The hero, the whole of Sice. No, scratch that. It is so much more than a delight. It is Mendius at your service. What is my profession? Well, I'll tell you what it used to be, and that is a man of medicine. But what does a man of medicine do but mend what... Oh, it's not merely an opportunity. It is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to become better. To become the full extent of the promise that is locked.
Of course I do. How could someone in my profession...
Quite right. Adventure...
See here. You and I share the same passion. I never doubted it for a moment. The thrill of walking the unbeaten path. The rush of finding yourself in a goblin ambush. Knowing you'll prevent... too bad your line of work comes with such measly recompense. Am I right? The wage of a mere soldier.
On the mood for cheese? That excuse is more holes than...
Riches do not interest me much, actually.
Nor me. Wealth, it...
Oh, but I know you're just being bashful. I bet that in your heart of hearts, even so, my friend, matters of a pecuniary nature aside, what is life without variety, without spice? To be a source hunter must get frightfully
It's better to lead than to follow. That much is true.
Better to be served.
Well spoken. Well said indeed. Life's too short to spend it doing someone else's bidding, am I right? Of course I am. And that is exactly why I am here. Why fate has put me right by the door to the King Crab, so that I could meet you and tell you about the marvel that is the Fabulous Five. Ah, the Fabulous Five. How I enjoy simply saying the words that describe the most illustrious and celebrated adventurers' guild in Riverlon. Our mission, to better the world. Our mantra, to better... You'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course you would. And you can. Of course, if you still have questions, I shall answer them to the best of my abilities. But if not, how about we get started? What a gem of a question. Straight as an arrow, sharp as a switchblade. Now then, to join the Fabulous Five is to join a fellowship, to join a fraternity, sorority, a community. Title of knight is bestowed upon you the moment you sign our waiver, and so it all begins. I shall be the one to give you your first contract. Of course, should you spread the word, should you propagate the gospel of the Fabulous Five and thereby draw new knights into our fellowship, you, by now, the genial glow of the fellowship must have warmed your heart. It has, hasn't it? But did I say fellowship? I mean family. For like a family, we support, work hard, fulfill contracts, enlist new knights, and swiftly shall you rise through the ranks. You will better yourself. You will better Rivellon. You will make the stars shine all the brighter. And you'll get fabulously wealthy in the process. What's not to like? Of course, of course, of course. All you need to do is
Как
sign this waiver.
сладко излагает.
Just like that. Snap.
This Fabulous Five business sounds too good to be true. I'm going to pass.
Rather foolish to pass up on such a loot.
I'm trying to get you out.
I've always
Давай.
wanted to join a real
Вот если я выиграю,
Indulge me,
то
okay?
вступаем. Выиграешь ты, вступай. Да, не. Оп. Сейчас будет бумага. Еще бумага.
So you're just hanging around the inn, are you? Waiting for what?
Решающий момент.
Oh, you can give me that way to us. I've got my eye on you.
Все-таки я выиграл.
No. We'll do as I say, and there's an.
Oh, how frightfully disappointing. How illogical and short-sighted of you. To deny the Fabulous Five. It is a crime against reason and humanity. Opportunity knocks, and...
Не знаю, пожалею я об этом или нет.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem
Back,
like
demon!
the sort of-
Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's edgier than a dodecahedron. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often. It's always a pleasure. Medora's the name. Retired. So the order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at yours. Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, see, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages either. What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say. But it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicil. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even by the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular wizard has a penchant for things that go boom in the night.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Oh, careful now. Your head's growing more swollen than Saffron's, I
managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made... Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, I've been scouting Cecile for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the counselor. Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by now. The orcs up north will be
Up when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
A fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters working in tandem, we'll put an end to all the evils bent against this fair land.
Another source hunter on the team will make us...
That's the spirit. Listen closely now. Hear it? That's the sound of every orc and sorcerer.
Tell me, Alistair, have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Fortune? Ah! He should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone who hasn't received Captain Aureus' explicit approval.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ah! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Look, careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than Saffron's, I dare say.
Sorry, I've run out of signed handkerchiefs. An Alistair keyring, maybe. In any case, make it quick. You're not the only fan who wants some of my time. What do you mean, not familiar? You expect me to believe you've never heard of Alistair the Almighty? Why, I'm only the most famous wizard this side of the distance. Although, it'd be worth checking the other side too, just in case. And don't forget, I'm the most eminent member of the Fabulous Five to boot. Surely you already know we've been voted the most influential adventurers guild by SideQuest Monthly. 3 years running. Your interest is piqued, I see. I'd suggest you have a chat with Mendius outside. He's in charge of recruitment and other such drudgery. A word of warning though, we only accept the best and the brightest. By the looks of you, I'm not sure you'll make the... Those nasty beasts are hardly worth my time. Though I suppose I'll step in if none of the recruits manage to prove adept enough to have...
What have we here? A source hunter, is it? Well, my tall as an elf, strong as an orc, but your face, and my word, what I am Anna. Jewel in the crown that is the fabulous... I've cut 1,000 throats, and baked 1,000 bread rolls, stolen the crown jewels of the queen. When the day comes that I die, the gods will evacuate the heavens to make space for my formidable collection of... I contain but then, source hunter, that I have. For nearly a lifetime, it seems. Well, I'm sure you must know what I mean. Like existence itself lacked a significant component. Like I believe I have found that component, that body, that spirit within you, Source Hunter. Come, if ever we are to be united, we must truly entwine our fates. Yes, you must join the Fabulous Five right away, as soon as time permits. Together, as a team, we'll explore the boundless realm before... Already refused to join? But, darling, didn't you... how can we... Refused? Oh, a plague on both our houses. For now we may never link our destiny. Away from me now, oh perfect specimen. Torment me no further. But if you happen to meet more able-bodied, agile-minded adventurers, don't hesitate to,
Whatever happened to that troop of eager...
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself?
That purring sound. Mind-control vibrations, I'm sure. Don't be seduced, comrades. I smell... oh, the fierce stench of frightened source goblin.
Actually, I think that's only roast pig.
Ah, yes. Yes, of course. This time.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies I seals ever seen.
Feeling hot under the collar?
Feeling hot under the collar.
I wouldn't venture too far out of town if I were you. It's heating up.
Sun is out. Sun is out.
You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be Hey, who's that then?
Come on, stand where my good eye can see you.
Easy, Tull. That's the source hunter you're talking to.
She may have the look of a woman if you squint hard enough, but she's no more than a wild animal. We got reports of a strange-looking outsider skulking through the town with her bow drawn. I found her crouched behind a tree, taking aim at a fat oak. I tapped her on the shoulder to see what was what, and the beast startled like a wild cat and lunged right at me.
Bit Tullia right in the face, she did. It wasn't pretty, and now it's got a chunk ripped off it to boot.
Enjoy it while you can, Ver. There's not another legionnaire in the cohort that'll have you if I go rabid.
Well, that's to be decided. She doesn't seem to be sick, despite Tully's moaning. We can't keep her here forever, but we can't well send her into the wilds again, can we?
Those boots will embarrass a bridge Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir.
Perhaps it'd be worth taking this stranger under our wing. She'll like—
After all,
Well, that's a relief, ain't it? We found a good home for her after all, Tull.
Heed me, Source Hunter. She's not good for anything more than cannon fodder. And don't turn your back on her when she's got that bow within arm's reach.
Source Hunter, I have heard tales both grand and terrible about the world of humans. I myself was caged one moment and freed the next by our in-home forest. Every creature acts according to the nature of its kind. Birds frighten easily, badgers fear little. But amongst men, there are no guarantees.
About face! Go the barracks! March! Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again! Those boots will embarrass a bridge troll. Get to shining recruits.
Sorry, sir. If you say it is so, then wary I will be. As the god wolf Amira commanded Threes. Win you from your wicked world, or call... Sorry, sir.
What have we here, then? The so-called Source Hunter. I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Sicil. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking dead. Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother. Just had to say. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town, not Mayor Cecil, not The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have. Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is... What? You're going to stand there and claim with... If you must. I'd say they're looking for weak spots in our defenses. They can't make an attack over land for fear of Ahu's magical machines, so they're trying their luck by... Bravo! Figured that one out, did you? And how am I enjoying it? Are you spoiling for a fight, Hunter? Are you? Sicil stinks of fish, reeks of orcs, and on a good... We are the pride of Riverlon.
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome. But certainly, what would you— Oh, I am but a wizard. A god. My task, you see, to my great regret, none of them purr as yet. By all means. Of course. I hope your investigation I can but piece together what few morsels fell from the grapevine into a rather They say a woman arrived in the King Crab Inn sometime after midnight. She retired to a room on the ground floor where she was soon— I say man and woman because both of them were cloaked and recognized by none. About an hour later, another— It took a while for the landlord to pluck up the courage to enter the mystery room. How and why he came to be there, no one knows. But I myself have none. Even though the rest of the town has already mentally tried and convicted. Now, it may well be established that she is, in fact, the guilty party. I'm not claiming that I'm certain she's in. Strangers leading orcs. Humans. But that would be like kittens leading a wolf pack. And yet, I don't know quite what to make of this news.